Hi, everybody. Good morning. Let's look at our schedule. So today is Monday, April 1st. Huh? So is it a joke day? Is it? Oh, okay. All right. So tonight we have homework 9.12, and it's not a joke. Okay. So today we will continue to finish 9.2 and start 9.3 and 4. Okay. So yep, I give you back the exams, and you can see the exam solution on the website. And thank you for telling me to fix that link. Yes, so exam correction and exam wrapper. So remember to submit those on Canvas. And this Friday, we have homework 9.2 and quiz 4. Okay, so let's continue. All right. So yeah, everybody, you have the chapter 9 formula sheets, right? So we're gonna use all these formula, and you don't need to memorize, just need to know how to use them, right? And last time we talked about the sum or difference formula. We have cosine, sine, and tangent. And those three sets are enough because if you have cotangent, you can, cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, right? And if you have secant, secant is the reciprocal of, it's cosine. And then cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. That's why you only need to know how to compute the sum or difference formula of sine, cosine, and tangent. And then you can solve any problem of this kind. And then last time we were working on this example, right? We have the cosine S and sine T, and we know both of them are in quadrant 4. And now we want to compute cosine S minus T. So you can separate this as like 3 steps. Last time we compute the, so we were given cosine S, and we compute the sine S. And we also were given sine T, and then we compute cosine T. So those 2 steps, we did those before in chapter 7. Remember in chapter 7, given any trig function, any one of the trig function, you can express it in terms of x, y, and r, right? And then you can draw the triangle on the xy plane to figure out the remaining side. Then you can write down all the rest trig functions. Do you still remember this from chapter 7? Mm-hmm. So this problem, I give you cosine or sine, but I can give you any one of the trig functions. If I give you tangent, well, tangent is what? What over what? Tangent. In terms of x, y, r? Y over x. Yes, everybody? And how about cotangent? X over y. And secant. Y over r? No. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. R over x. Yeah, r over x. Right, everybody? By the way, if you miss a class, make sure you watch the recording and take notes. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. Mm-hmm. And I told you last class, the remaining month we're gonna be super busy because we spent a lot of time on chapter 7 and chapter 8 to build our foundation, so they're like strong. Then we're gonna increase our speed. You're gonna be super busy. So all right, and then so we finished step 1 and step 2. Now step 3, we're gonna compute the difference. So we use the difference formula for cosine. Step 3, cosine S minus T is, so everybody take out your formula. You're going to carry the formula with you all the time when you do the homework. Okay, so we have cosine, and it's the cosine difference formula, right, everybody? So we plug in, we have s minus t. So a is like s, b is like t. Therefore, from this formula, we get what? Cosine s t, and then plus times sine t. Exactly. Right? So this is what we learned before. And this is something new, but we have the formula sheet. You don't need to memorize the formula. Okay? Just use the formula from the formula sheets and you compare which one to use. And now we can plug in. What is cosine s? What is cosine s? 15 over 17. Right, everybody? And cosine t. What is cosine t? T. So this is about s. This is about t. We have sine t and cosine t. Right? 7 over 25. Yeah, 7 over 25. Plus sine s. Negative. 8 over 17. Exactly. And multiply by sine t. Yes, very good. Right, everybody? So we plug in the numbers. And now you can use your calculator. Do you realize the denominator are the same? They're both 17 multiplied by 25. And the numerator, I have 15 times 7. But then do you see negative times negative become positive? So it becomes plus 8 times 24. And you can put this in your calculator. And because this problem, I asked you find the exact value. Then you cannot give me decimal approximation. Give me a fraction. So you can compute the numerator. Then you will get, let me see, 297. Denominator, when you multiply 17 and 25, you get 425. So express your answer in a fraction. That's it for this problem. Okay, everybody? So this is cosine s minus t. How about, okay, so we finished this problem. But what happens if I ask you more? So if I ask you, okay, what is sine s plus t? So if I ask you more, what do? We look at the formula. Do you see here the formula sine s plus t? So we look at the sine formula, and it's the sum, right? So A is like the S, B is like the T, right? So it's sine S cosine T, right? So sine S cosine T. And then what? Plus cosine S sine T, right? Everybody? So we're using the first formula here. So plus, what is that? I don't remember. Cosine S sine T. Is that okay, everybody? So we look at the formula and then plug in the values. What is sine S again? Negative 8 over 17. Attendance. And times cosine S. What's cosine? Oh, sorry, cosine T. What's cosine T? Seven over 25. Right, everybody? Plus, what is cosine S? 15 over 17. And what is sine T? Yes. Is everybody okay with that? And therefore, we plug in. So do you see the denominator? They're the same. It's still 17 times 25. The numerator, we have negative 8 times 7, and then plus 15 times negative 4. Right, everybody? So that equals 425. And the numerator, I need your help. So it's negative 8 times 7 and then minus 15 times 24. What do you get? 416? Yes. Thank you. Is that okay, everybody? We just plug in the formula. All right. Oh, I ran out of space. Okay, so what happened if I ask you to find tangent? Okay, if I ask you to find tangent, if you ran out of space, you can use the some space here because like I said, we are behind schedule. We're not able to cover every single problem from your worksheets. So yes, we covered this problem, and then the remaining problems of this session, we won't work on those. But I provide the solution on the website. So if you're interested, feel free to look at the website. So here, what's tangent? S plus t. Okay, if I ask you what is tangent S plus t, then you want to use this formula, right, everybody? The tangent A plus B. See, what do you need? You need to know what is tangent A, and you also need to know what is tangent B, right, everybody? But do we know tangent A and tangent B? We don't know it yet. So let's find it out. Tangent S. What is tangent in terms of x, y, r? Y over r. Exactly. And what is y? Can you see? What is y? Minus 8. And what? Sorry, not y over r, y over x. Negative 8. And what is x? 15. Yes. So that is tangent S. How about tangent t? Again, y over x. But what is y? Negative 24. What is x? 7. Yes. Is that okay, everybody? We find the tangent S and tangent T. Now what do? Plug in the formula. So everybody look at the formula and tell me what's on the formula. Tangent S plus T is tangent, but A is like S, right? And B is like T. So tangent S plus, yeah, tangent S plus tangent T. T, good, exactly. 1 minus tangent S and tangent T. Is that okay, everybody? Now we plug in tangent S. What is that? Yes. Tangent t. And then 1 minus the negative a over 15 and the negative 24 over 7. Will your calculator give you fraction if you type all this in your calculator? So if your calculator can give you fraction, then you can plug in all of these in your calculator. Otherwise, you need to calculate it. All right. And how do you calculate it? For example, the top, the common denominator is 15 and 7. And the top one, you want to multiply by 7, right? And the second fraction, you want to multiply by 15. So you have 8 times 7. But because you factor out the negative, then this becomes plus or minus. If you factor out the negative, positive. So it's positive 24 times 15. And the denominator is 1. Let me ask you, 3 negative multiplied together, what do you get? Negative. So negative 15 times 7, 8 times 24. Right, everybody? And now you have, okay, so we get a minus, and you can compute. What is 8 times 7 plus 24 times 15? Eight times 7 plus 24 times 15. Yeah, everybody take out a calculator. What is 8 times 7? I know that's 56, but the second one is hard. 416. Thank you. And 7 times 15 is what? 105. Thank you. And then the denominator. Do you see the denominator? You can multiply the top and bottom by 15 times 7 is actually 105. So you get 105 is the common denominator. And then you get 105 minus 8 times 24. And what is 105 minus 8 times 24? What? Sorry, what did you say? Negative 87. Good. So we have this. All right. And now you remember A over B over C over D is A over B times the reciprocal, which is D over C. So this is negative 416 over 105 multiplied by the reciprocal, which is negative 105 over 87. Is that okay, everybody? Yes. And minus cancel. 105 cancel. So the answer is 416 over 87. So will your calculator give you this answer when you type everything in it? Okay, so if your calculator can do it, then you don't need to do the algebra here. Everybody understand this type of problem? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So, because your exam will have some problems similar to this. Okay, so problem 5, I will let you to do an exercise. Problem 6, we will talk about this in 9.5. Okay, then we can come back. to do this example 6. And then number 7. Do you see number 7 is very similar to our problem? You're giving cosine A, and then you're giving sine B. Then you can also separate to the 3 sets. Right, everybody? So I give you cosine A, you can find all the other trig functions of A. And then I give you sine Z, you can also draw the point on the xy plane and find all the trig functions of B. Then you plug in the formula to find sine A minus B and tangent A minus B. So it's going to be the same method. Is that okay, everybody? So can I let you to try this at home and then check your answer with the notes on the website? Is that okay, everybody? Yes. So it's going to be like this problem. Okay? 3 steps. Okay, so this is 9.2. And now let's go to 9.3. It's actually 9.3 and 9.4 combined together. So this session, we talk about double angle identities. So how do we get this double angle identities? Well, we actually use the sum of difference formula. Why? Do you see cosine 2a is actually like cosine a plus a? Do you agree? 2a is a plus a. Right, everybody? So you kind of use the sum formula of the cosine, but you have a plus a. Therefore, you get cosine a times cosine a, which is cosine a squared, minus sine a sine a, so sine a squared. Is that okay, everybody? And furthermore, we have the trig identity. Sine a squared plus cosine a squared equals 1. Do you remember that? The triangle. Okay. The triangle, sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Right? So you use this, then you can get rid of cosine. Because the alternate form is cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared. Yes, everybody? So you plug this in here. Then you get, this becomes 1 minus sine a squared. That is the cosine squared. And you have minus another copy of sine squared. Is that okay, everybody? Therefore, you get this equals to 1 minus 2 sine a squared, which is this formula. Okay, so we have alternate form because, this is a trig identity and this is the alternate form of it. And bless you. So therefore, cosine 2a, we know it's cosine squared minus sine squared, is also equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared, the alternate form of it. Furthermore, we don't like to see cosine. We want to see, we don't want to see the sine. We want to express everything in terms of cosine. Well, then, this guy becomes, you see, cosine squared, but minus sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared. Therefore, you get cosine squared minus 1 plus cosine squared, which is they're like terms. We can combine them. We get 2 cosine squared minus 1, which is this alternate form. So this 3 formulas, they're all about cosine 2a. They are all equivalent. They're alternate forms of each other. Is that okay, everybody? Sometimes it's based on the problem. We need to decide which one to use. I will explain more of that in session 9.5 when you need to solve trig equations. Okay, you then will decide which one to use. Okay. Any questions about the cosine 2a? We have three forms. They're all equivalents. Now the sine 2a. So the double angle formula, sine 2a, you look at the sine a plus b, right? Now you have a plus a. What happened? Sine a, cosine a, plus cosine a, sine a. Do you see they are the same? So you add them. You get two copies of sine a and cosine a. Is that okay, everybody? So with the sum of difference formula, we can deduce the double angle formula. Okay, everybody? Mm-hmm. How about the tangent? Again, 2a is what? A plus a. Yeah. Therefore, you get what? Tangent a plus tangent a is two copies of tangent a. And 1 minus tangent a times tangent a is tangent a squared. Right, everybody? Mm-hmm. So ideally, if you have the formula of the sum of difference, then you can deduce the double angle formula. But in the exam, I just give you all the formula. I mean, all these harder formula. Okay. So any questions about the double angle formula? No? All good? Okay. Now, let's do examples. So now, given sine theta is 8 over 17, and the cosine theta is negative, we want to find the sine, cosine, and tangent. So I would say this is like two steps. Step one, this is like what we did before. You draw the xy plane. And what is sine theta in terms of xyr? Y over r. And what is cosine theta in terms of xyr? X over r. Is everybody okay with that? Mm-hmm. You see why I said so important you be familiar with the formula. Because all the knowledge is built on top of it. Okay, do you see this is positive? And we know r is always positive. Therefore, we get the y is positive. Yep. How about here? R is positive, but the whole thing is negative. X is negative. Exactly. So X is negative. So it's on the left side of the y-axis. And Y is positive. Which quadrant are we in? 2. We're in quadrant 2. So you draw a little rectangle. That's X, that's Y, and that's R. Is that okay, everybody? Now you can start playing. Sine Y, sine theta is Y over R and equals 8 over 17. What do you let Y to be? 8. So we let Y to be 8. How about R? 17. So far, so good, everybody? Yeah, what is X? Yes. Keep in mind, x squared plus y squared is r squared. So when you solve for x, you move the y squared to the other side, become negative. And when you take square root, you get plus or minus. Right, everybody? So let's see, plus or minus. What is r? 17 squared minus y is 8 squared. What is that? Yeah, 15. Is that okay, everybody? Mm-hmm. We get 15.
I thought. No, never mind.
Oh, okay. So far, so good? Yeah, I think you get like square root of 225, and that's exactly 15.
Yeah.
Yes. So in the exam, you might have a number that is irrational. You might not get integers, right, everybody? There's not so many triangles with sides that are all integer. So in the exam, you might get irrational number. That's okay. But the method are similar. Now look at the x. X is negative because it's in quadrant 2. We pick the negative. X is negative 15. Right, everybody? Now, this is the sine theta. What is the cosine theta? Yes. Right, everybody? So this is step 1. This is like what we learned before. So in an exam, you might not get sine theta. Maybe you get one of the trig functions. Maybe I give you cotangent or cosecant or secant. Is that okay, everybody? All right, step 2. Now we can compute all the double angle. Bless you. Bless you. Okay. Sine 2 theta. Do you see we use this sine 2 theta formula? It is what? 2 sine theta. So the angle A is theta. So 2 sine theta times cosine theta. And then sine theta is what? A over 17. What's cosine theta? Negative 15 over 17. Right, everybody? Put this in your calculator. What do you get? So all these problems give me exact value. So don't give me decimal approximation. Okay? Give me exact value. The fraction.
Negative 240 over 289.
240? Thank you. Right, everybody? So this is sine 2 theta. And now we need to compute what is cosine 2 theta. Okay, so cosine 2 theta, you have 3 formulas. You can use any of them. They're all equivalent. So I usually use either just the one with the cosine or just the one with the sine. Then it's easier to calculate. Which one do you prefer? The middle one? Okay. So we got 2 cosine theta square minus 1. Is that okay, everybody? So we have 2. What's cosine theta? Yeah. And we square it and subtract 1. Will your calculator give you fraction if you have all this in your calculator? Oh, okay. So you can borrow my calculator. So I have a better calculator that the multi-line instead of single line. There's a button. It's like this. I got 2 triangles. When I press this button, it gives me all fractions. Okay. So yeah. Right. Okay. So what do you get? Thank you. So this is sine 2 theta and cosine 2 theta. And then tangent 2 theta. Don't use this formula. We have the easier one. Tangent 2 theta. What's the relation? Yeah, it's sine over cosine. Questions?
I just want to mention on the syllabus, it did say to apply this rule exactly. I don't know if you would want to update for that classes if there's messages.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Right. Um, this one is like an example. Like, yeah, I should update the better one because the better one it can also do probability and statistics. Yeah, easier when you type in the columns. Okay. Yeah, thank you for telling me. Let's see. Tangent to theta is sine to theta over cosine to theta. Is that okay, everybody? This is much easier than this. You don't need to compute the tangent A, right? Yeah, sine 2 theta negative 240 over 289 over 161 over 289. Fraction in a fraction. When you divide it by a number, it's the same as multiply by its reciprocal. What is the reciprocal? Oh yes, you can also do that. Mm-hmm. You can cancel them, and then you get negative 240 over 161. So far, so good, everybody. So the step one is what we did before in chapter 7. The new thing is use the formula and plug in and calculate. Is that clear, everybody? Okay. Now you do number 2. Also separate into 2 steps. No problem. But I'm thinking about basically if I they would do this, but then you have to do it. I won't do that if you take T mostly not T I 30x. You can if you see after class I can show you in my phone. You're welcome. Yes, keep going. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, okay, good, good. So, this is not how you touch it. I really think it's a point. It is the first one. Like it's targeted here. The second one is the because I usually try to try. So if you point you go like this. And you connect with the origin. And you put a vertical line there. With the edge, and that's the you're like that because the point. Oh,
because theta is over in the okay.
If you go like this, on the
Yeah. So this makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. I was literally here. I didn't write anything else. I know. My brain doesn't want to work today. It's fine. So good. Do we know which one's negative? For this, how do we know which one's negative?
Oh, so you look at the x. X is
Mhm.
positive,
Mhm.
and then the y is down there. So
Mhm.
y is negative.
Okay. So are these both negative?
The r is always positive. R is so
That's where I'm confused.
Yeah.
That needs to be
R
an
is
X.
always positive because r is the distance between the point and origin.
Mhm. So would these both be negative though?
You see, the x is on the right, so
Mhm.
x is positive,
Okay.
but the y is down there.
Okay.
Yeah. We're looking for, so you have cotangent, right? And in order to find sine, cosine, you need to find the sine, theta, and cosine theta. Oh, well, this is irrational. So you just put a square root and then just do the same thing as that. Yeah. We have irrational numbers, no? Cannot be irrational. This fraction is irrational. And R is always positive. Mm-hmm. Good. And then find what is sine theta, what's cosine theta, and find. So, and then, okay, cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. Tangent is the opposite over adjacent. So then you flip it, becomes the adjacent over opposite. And see here, the x is on the right here, and then your y is on the left. Good.
Sounds so good. Mm.
What is sine theta and what is cosine theta? Yes. Then you can put. Let's see. Oh. Oh, I see. All right. See. Okay. Let's check our answers. Okay. All right. So let's check our answers together. So cotangent. We know cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So when you flip it, it becomes the adjacent over the opposites. So x over y is negative 11 over 19. And so this problem, it tells us is in quadrant 4. So we can draw the picture, quadrant 4 picture like this. And we know x is positive, right? And the y is negative. Therefore, where do you put the minus sign? Next to the y. Yeah? So x is 11, y is negative 19. And then the hypotenuse, the r, is the square root of x squared plus y squared. And here I don't put a negative because negative 1 squared is positive 1. So I didn't put it. Do you get square root of 482?
Eventually.
Good. And then, because if you want to find sine 2 theta, cosine 2 theta, you need to know the sine theta and cosine theta. So sine theta opposite over hypotenuse, y over r, so negative 19 over square root of 482. So in your exam, you might get rational number. Just keep it as the rational number. Is that okay, everybody? And then cosine theta is x over r. And since you know sine theta and cosine theta, you can then plug in the formula. Sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cosine theta. So 2 times this number and this number. Do you see the denominator, the square root cancel? Because it's that thing, square. You know, square root and square root cancel. So you only get 482. And when you simplify it, you get, the common factor is 2. So you can simplify the 2. And then the cosine 2 theta is 2 cosine squared minus 1. So 2 times cosine squared. Do you see the cosine squared? You get 11 squared, 121. Denominator, the square root and square root cancel. Yes, everybody. And this is now fraction. You can put in your calculator and get a fraction. And then your tangent is sine over cosine. So your exam will have some problem like this. Like figure out the trig functions of that angle and then use the double angle formula. And you have the double angle formula. Okay, so practice more problems. Again, for the examples that we didn't go over in 9.2, I hope you can work on those problems and then check your answers with the solution on the websites. Okay, have a nice day.
I didn't get very far.
Oh, which parts? Oh.
My brain kept doing tangent instead of cotangent.
Oh, you're welcome. So I think you gotta practice your chapter 7 formula sheets. Like this picture. How does this picture? And how does this picture? The X,
I had that. I did. But my brain didn't want to do it. My brain said no.
This still early in the morning? Okay, yeah. Print out this worksheet and the practice more.
Okay. It didn't help that my hearing went out in this year either.
Okay.
So, hey, my water.